Hello, YouTube. I know I haven't made a video in quite a while, but I just got something and I thought that this would be a good opportunity to make a video, a good learning experience. I know this is something that is probably all over YouTube, that is probably topic covered a lot and it's nothing new, but I just thought it would be good to maybe start my channel again at some point. So if this video does well, I might decide. So thank you all for subscribing. I know I somehow still have a lot of subscribers, and by a lot I mean like, I don't know, 50 or so after all this time without making videos, but it's just so weird to come back and see I've gained subscribers even though I haven't made a video in so long. But anyway, let me show you something. Sorry if I sound like a little off today. I'm just kind of tired. How about I start from the beginning? So I was on Craigslist and I was looking at getting a leopard gecko. And before, I watched a lot of videos, hundreds maybe of videos, I don't know, a lot. Most of them from a channel called Leopard Gecko, who I would totally recommend. I'll link her channel in the description. So I looked at online and I saw this. And it did not come with this. This we just bought at the pet store because it didn't have a lid. But it had this. And on the Craigslist site, the image of the tank, it looked like at the bottom there was a maybe repta carpet or some kind of mat. But to my surprise, it was actually sand. Now, I'll talk about that in a little. I'm sure some of you who know a lot about reptiles and leopard geckos especially will know what's wrong with sand. But anyhow, so it also came with this 20-gallon long tank and the hide, and I don't know what this is. It looks like some kind of plastic thing, and everything in here, this is what it came with. And it also came with some other stuff. It's raining, as you can see. I don't know why I felt the need to point that out, but it came with this piece of driftwood, which is actually a really nice piece of driftwood. This thing probably cost a lot of money to get a nice big piece like this. This is probably too big for that tank. I don't know what it'll do with it. Maybe use it for fish. And it also came with this bulb, or I don't know what to call it, lamp, kind of. And I think I will probably use that. I have some other reptile lamps up in the garage, but I think that one is probably what I'll use just because it's smaller than the ones I have. Anyway, back to the gecko. Everything here and that piece of driftwood was $50, which is an amazing deal, because probably this tank alone is probably worth $50, even though it's not in great condition. As you can see, there's like some black stuff here. I don't know if this is paint or if they put a fake background on the tank and then they decided to pull it off and it didn't come off right, but it came with this hide, which I like, and I'm going to want to use that. So I'm actually going to be redoing this entire setup because I don't know if you know this already, but sand is awful for leopard geckos. Sand is terrible. Because the reason for that is that leopard geckos, when they walk around, they like to lick things and explore. And they will often accidentally get sand in their mouths. And why this is bad is because they can't properly digest sand. So what happens is their stomach is filled with sand, and then they can't poop and they can't eat, and then they die. It's called impaction. So right now here, as far as I can tell, the people that I got this from said that they had it for 8 months, or that it was 8 months old. I'm not sure which, but I looked at its stomach. I'm not 100% sure, but I do think it's showing some early signs of impaction. It looks kind of dark. It's kind of hard to see, but when I looked at it, its stomach was looking a little dark. So I'm definitely going to have to treat it for impaction. And I looked up how to do that just now in the car when I realized that they were using sand. But it also had this little dish for dogs, I guess. And a stick. They had this piece of concrete, which I'm definitely gonna have to take out because I don't like how that looks at all. A few rocks. I might keep these in, I don't know. So I'm going to, this is a non-example of what you want to do. If you have a leopard gecko and you're keeping it in sand, any kind of sand, calcium sand, no matter what the pet store tells you, do not keep it in sand because it will die. This is coming from 15-year-olds, and even I know more than the pet store. I mean, just, it's awful how uninformed people are, but you don't need to listen to me. You can look up any video about leopard geckos and substrates, and they will tell you that sand is bad. All right, my dad just walked in, and he shut the garage door because it's broken. So I have dogs, so I don't want them getting in here, but this one, I'm not 100% sure if it has impaction, but I'm going to treat it anyway, just in case. I just took all the hides out. I moved the driftwood from the car. I still have to get the lamp. This looks like it was meant to be a fish tank because it has what looks like they're supposed to go into a sump or something like that, some kind of filter. But in this video, I'm going to be redoing this whole setup. So let's start by taking out this big mat, this big, what is it, rubber mat. Not sure why they have it in there at the bottom. Honestly, I would have rather had them kept it on a mat than sand, because now I'm worried about it. But I'm gonna get a bucket and I'm going to remove all the sand. Sorry for my awful camera work. So I'm gonna put all the sand into a bucket. If I can get. Okay, this bucket is not coming off. Okay, let's try that again. Those buckets are stuck together and I can't separate them. So I'm going to put the sand in here. I'm going to move the leopard gecko into, let me find something to move him in. This is just going to be for a few minutes while I do this. I just want something where he won't escape and he won't get infected or something like that. I think I'm just going to put him in here. I don't know. It looks like it has dried paint. I'm worried that he might ingest that or something, but it's only going to be a few minutes, so I'll just try and be quick. Here you go, buddy. I'm saying a lot now, aren't I? I'm not sure if it's a guy or a girl, the leopard gecko. She said it was 6 to 7 months old, the person I got it from. And as you can see, there's poop everywhere, so they haven't been cleaning it out, probably. And they also have these little blue rocks. I'm not sure why they're in here, probably for aesthetics or something. But the person I got it from said they were getting rid of all their animals because they're moving. And, you know, I'm just really glad that I was able to rescue it, because I'm sure whoever else would have got it would have been someone who was not ready to take care of it and would have kept it in sand and it would have died. But, so I'm just going to dump this onto the bucket, so I'll be right back. Okay, so there was so much sand I could not pick it up because I'm a little weakling, so I'm going to use a giant shovel. Scoop the sand out. It's a little bit weird, but, you know, it works. I don't want to dump any sand on the floor. You're watching me scoop some blue sands and rocks into a bucket. That's what you want to see, is this content. I'm trying not to spill sand on the floor, but I'm getting it everywhere. They said they were feeding crickets and mealworms, which is fine. I think that's an okay diet for a leopard gecko. But that's not what I'm going to feed it. I might feed it some mealworms, but right now I have a tank, or not really a tank, it's just a little setup with calci worms, or phoenix worms. They're not very commonly used feeder insects, but they're what I have on hand. I just have a place where I can get them easily, and they breed really easily. And I'm going to be giving that. They're high in calcium. The person who also kept them was using calcium with D3. Now, I know that can be bad, it depending on the brand and how much D3 and calcium there is, but you should always supplement separately and never buy something with calcium and D3 together. Because the problem with that is if you get too much calcium or too much D3, if you just buy them separately, then you can choose how much calcium, how much D3, and regulate it better. But I think I'm just going to dump the rest right now off camera. Alright, so we just dumped it all. There still is some sand, but that can't be helped. There's going to be a tiny bit still. I'm going to put... Oh, crap, I got sand on the floor. Well, I will clean that up. But I'm going to put, actually, some... I have it upstairs. It's... Eco Earth. I know that's a pretty good substrate for leopard geckos because it's harder for them to swallow, or it's easier for them to swallow because it's not gravelly like sand. It's more natural. Hey, buddy. All right, he's doing fine. So I'm just gonna dust all this sand into a pile and clean that up. So that's pretty much all the excess sand. It's not a huge amount, but I just don't want sand all over the floor. So I'll clean it up in a sec. Now I think I'm just going to put the stuff that I'm not going to use, like this. I'm definitely not going to use this. I don't know why it was in there in the first place. I am going to use this hide. Leopard geckos need a warm hide and a cool side. They hide, and this one only had one hide, and I know that this thing they could claw under here, so I guess that's a hide really. But they didn't have a heat mat, so there was no heat gradient, so what's the point of having a warm hide and a cool hide if the one is not warm and one is not cool and they're the same? They weren't even using any heat light or anything like that, nothing to keep it warm, so I don't know. I'm just going to use this one. Just going to move all the ones that I want to use in here, and all the ones I'm not going to use out. I'm not going to use this. It's a piece of concrete. I guess you can use it for leopard geckos. I've never seen anything about using concrete for leopard geckos. Probably not a good idea. It's kind of sharp at some edges, so could cut your gecko, because geckos are very soft-bodied animals, so they can be cut very easily by sharp rocks and such like that. Oh, there's more sand. Yay. More sand for me to clean up. Sand's just a mess, man. Please, no one ever use sand for leopard geckos. Gosh. So, that's all the sand. I'm gonna use these rocks, because I guess why not? What is that, water? I think that's water. That's water. I think I'll just use these rocks. I'm gonna take this up just in case. I don't know if I'm gonna use it. It's a pretty good size, and the gecko can also go under it, so it could be good, but I'm not gonna use this piece of driftwood, because it's huge, and I don't need a huge piece of driftwood. It's almost as big as a tank. Can't really see it from this place, but I don't want it squishing my gecko, possibly injuring him, /her. I still have to sex it, because they did not tell me what its gender was. So these bags can go there. I'll clean up the sand in a sec. What else do I need? This piece of driftwood is pretty good. It's not big. You can climb on it. That's pretty good size. I think that's pretty much everything. I don't need to shovel anymore. I moved all the sand. So now I'm just going to move all this sand into this bucket with my hands because I'm lazy and I don't want to get a little mat. It's probably a very inefficient way to do it. We'll probably get sand everywhere anyway. I'm not a stupid person. So while I'm doing this, I'm just going to talk about my other animals, because I haven't made a video in a while. Slinky, she's my blue-tongued skink. She's doing great. If you remember when I got her, the person who was keeping her in a blue plastic tub, which was not see-through, so she was in the dark, and she had a light, but all she had was a blanket, no substrate. I don't know the details of how she was being kept, but I was a feeling that she's probably being mistreated just by the side of her enclosure. So right now she's doing really great. I'm still trying to handle her. Yesterday she peed on me when I tried to handle her, and I had to wash my clothes. So I think it will just take time of me handling her for her to get used to me, but I think most of the sand is gone. This is the least efficient way to do it. I just don't feel like going inside and doing something to do it with because I'm lazy. I'm just gonna move it around and hopefully. Alright, so it's pretty much all gone. There's some that got in the crack here, but I will just put this bucket on top and then move this over here. And I don't know if this sand is compatible with fish tanks, but I do have some fish tanks, and I might want to use the sand for that. Oh, I forgot the leopard geckos in here. I'm going to leave her in there for a little bit longer. Her / him. I don't know what to call it. Brush. I don't know what to do with this brush. I'll just put it where I found it. Oh, what is that? Oh, okay. I don't know if she's going to escape from that. I kind of don't want to leave her. I think I'm going to get my dad to take it upstairs, because it's a big tank, and I can't carry it at the stairs, so maybe we can work together to carry it. As for the leopard gecko, gotta find something more suitable besides a bucket to keep her in, so I don't have to worry about her. This is actually, yeah, this is funny. This is it. This is what Slinky was being kept in, this big tub. As you can see, compared to my hand, I have small hands, but it's not a very big enclosure. So now I think I'm just gonna move this upstairs, and you might get a little glimpse at my other animals. Most of the stuff I have is the same, just some fish and Slinky, of course. And now, new member of the family, Leopard Gecko, which I have not yet to name. If you have a good name, leave down in the comments, and I've already named her when I post this though. What should I carry her up in? I just think I'm just gonna use this and carry her up in this, because that feels like the easiest thing for me to do. So right now I'll just leave her here and get my dad. Okay, so we're about to move my gecko upstairs. The glare is awful in here. About to move it upstairs. The glare is even worse outside. Not sure why. Oh, that's better. Oh, okay, I know why. I'm stupid. I was focusing.
Where is it?
It is in that bucket over here. I'm gonna take it. You doing good? Yeah, he's doing good.
Oh, it's much lighter without all that sand.
Yeah.
Can you get the doors for me?
Yeah, I can. Just leave you here. I think right now's a good time to show you my fish. I got some new ones. This one I got about a week ago, maybe a little bit more. This is a half moon betta. I got him at a fish auction from a breeder. I'm not sure how old he is, but I named him Dart from Stranger Things. And then I planted this tank a little. Just some, what's it called? Hornwort and Java moss. And then there's my pleco. As usual, I've had him for a long time. He's older than this channel. I moved my cories into it. I have 3 cories, and they are actually breeding. And there's also guppies. I have 1 male and 3 females. And this is my fry tank. This is a grow out tank for the guppy babies. And when my cories have babies, cory babies. There's also a lot of shrimp in here, and it's infested with snails. This is about 3 gallons. So once the guppies get big enough, I'll move them in here, and I'm gonna sell them on Craigslist and at a fish auction. And I have a cat in here too. That's new. You can see she's destroying everything. Over here, Slinky, nothing has changed. Basically the same. I added some fake plants. That's about it. I don't know where she is. She's probably in her hide. She doesn't like me when I disturb her, unless I will feed her. There she is. Hey, Slinky. I'm gonna leave you alone because you don't want to be bothered. And I just fed her today, actually. She ate the dog food. She didn't eat any of the fruit and vegetables, of course. Here's my cat, Ophelia. I just got her maybe a month ago. All right, thank you, Dad. Just set up the tank, and nothing is set up, obviously, inside it, but he just put it on where it's gonna be, and there's a towel underneath. And I'm gonna go get this stuff and set it up. Sorry to cut it short, but I realized this video was way too long for one video, so I decided to turn it into 2 parts in the editing process. So stay tuned for the next part, coming soon, hopefully.